Oh, yes, we are live, and it's so good to be back after a few missing moments. I'm so glad that we are here. Winters are around, and we all can feel that chill running down our spine. And I'm so glad that the energy is still there, and this energy would keep all of us going. Wow, wow. I believe that you have watched the previous sessions. If yes, then type in hell yes. If no, then type in that no, I'm yet to watch it. So let me know, which session are you attending this evening? Let me know, which session are you attending this evening? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shivam, Pratibha, Samcho, Anshu, Ishant, Vidyapan. Welcome, welcome, folks. It's an absolute delight to have you out all here. Okay. So, is this your first session, your second session, your 15th session, or which session are you attending this evening with me? Okay, some people are wishing me good morning. So, good morning, Shivam. This happens, when you are high on something, then you don't even realize whether it's good morning or good evening, unless you are in some other part of the country or the world. All right, that's the sixth session for some, first for some, 15th for Shivam. That's nice. Second for Priyanka. That's nice. So, all those who have joined in for the first session, I welcome you. And I would sincerely request you to go back and check out all the previous sessions which we have done in the last 2 weeks, which are around public speaking and personal growth. Today, five do's and don'ts. Something very basic, but essential. Essentially, you cannot miss out all these five things. So I thought of covering up five do's and five don'ts. So which one should we go or pick up first? Should we go up? Should we go with the do's, or should we go with the don'ts? Which one should we prefer? Let me know. What would you prefer to listen? First of all, should we go with the do's of public speaking? That what should we be doing when we go for public speaking, or should we cover what we should not be doing as we go for public speaking? Okay, I want to get a response from everyone, and then I would start and then decide accordingly that should we go for the do's or should we go for the don'ts. Okay, everyone says do's, 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 do's. Like nobody says that don't talk about the don'ts. Why not? Unless and until you do not know what you should not do, how would you realize what you should do? Or vice versa. Okay, the first do. The first do which comes into the picture is that you should not rush through your presentation, right? Rather you should go slow. The beauty of do's and don'ts is that you can either say you should do this or you should not do this. That is the advantage which we have, that whether should we go with the do's and don'ts. So first do is that you should focus on the pause. Try to use pause strategically. I have listened, I have heard to lot of great speakers, and I realized that they have this one thing in common in which they would take a pause, which is very strategic. We might feel that why did this person stop over here? But that pause was very strategic in nature. Some people have this habit to go on with their speech. They think that if they take a pause, they would be perceived as someone who does not have confidence or who has forgotten some words. But that's not the case. Like right now, I took a pause. I took a pause so that you can pay attention to what I have to say. Do you see the difference? I could go on and 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 keep on speaking, and you'll be like, what is wrong with this guy? But the moment I take a slight pause, I get your attention. Do you see the difference? It is so much realistic. that whenever a person is speaking and it takes a strategic pause, it may be a one-to-one conversation or one-to-many conversation. The pause can be used strategically. Try using more often. Try using more often, else you would sound monotonous. You would sound monotonous because the flow, after a certain period of time for a listener, it's like I need to break the pattern. I need to break the pattern. So whenever you have to talk about something that is important, something which requires the attention of the listener, because the listener may not be listening to you throughout your speech. So you ought to take a pause so that the listener thinks, hey, I was getting a sound, but is he there? Yes, he's very much there. You have to grab the attention. You have to draw the attention towards a point which is important as per you. Which is important as per you. Is it clear? Right? So do that. Once you get a command, folks, it is not about that when you are focusing on it, then it will happen. It should happen naturally. So you should practice so much that whenever you speak, you know it that at this point, I should take a pause so that I draw everyone's attention. The second thing which a public speaker should do is to prepare stories. Yes, people love listening to stories. I often see people, who do not prepare stories. The story can be from your life. Your life can be your professional life, your personal life, whatever. Talk about stories, what happened in your childhood, what happened when you were growing up as an adult, whatever. Back at home, back at school, with friends, with your dog, with your cat, with your landlord, whatever, with some stranger. Create stories. If you have 10 slides, have 10 stories. You may not use all, but just have a bag of stories, which you can just go into and just like pull out one story whenever you need to. That's really important. As a good storyteller, as a good communicator, you need to have stories every single time to narrate, to engage with people. And when you narrate a story, do not say, yes, I was 13 years old when I went to my school and I met a girl whose name was Lucy, and Lucy was very beautiful and I fall in love with her. And when I fall in love with her, everything was red and rosy. No. Do you remember your childhood? Whenever you used to listen to a story, how much drama, how much masala, how much spice was there, whenever our parents or our teachers used to narrate the story, it was like with a lot of expressions and a lot of voice modulation, and you can actually revisit the moment. The purpose of telling a story is to take the listener back to that moment, back to that experience which you experienced. You get this point? It's really important. It's your duty, it's your dharma to take the listener along with you, make him feel what you felt, make him relive that amazing picture which you saw. That you have to do. You have to break down everything into details so that it becomes easy for the listener to visualize. That's the power of story. If you were crying, the emotion should be passed on to the listener so that even he cries as he listens to your story. I'm sure you would have watched some movies, maybe Bollywood or Hollywood, where you would have cried. Have you? Have you? Has it happened with you that as you watched a movie, you cried as the character out there? Maybe if he cracked a joke, he laughed, and even you laughed along with the person. You could actually relive that moment because you could see it in front of your eyes. Even if you just close your eyes and just listen to some kind of music, some kind of sher shairi or whatever, you can feel that emotion. The way it is, said, very important. So get a story, create stories, and A story does not mean that, oh, it was yesterday when I went to my office and Mr. Shyam was there. And I told Mr. Shyam, how are you? Mr. Shyam says, I'm fine. No, that is not what people would listen. A story which is not that exaggerated. A story which talks about those essential things which the listener would love to listen. There should be like a spark. Hey, what happened next? What happened next? Do you remember? The child was always curious to know, oh, then what happened? Seriously, then what happened? So if you as a storyteller can create that curiosity, can create that element of that what would happen next, that people are like hooked up so as to what would happen next, that is the kind of engagement that you have to bring in. I remember the movie Uri, a dialogue, a very famous dialogue, How's the Josh? How's the Josh? You remember? Right? Whereby that movie, I was completely glued to my seat. I did not even blink for a second because it was so engaging. The story was taking along with you. I mean, you were just going with the flow. That was the beauty of that movie. So it has to be engaging. Story does not mean a description. No, try to understand. When you as a public speaker narrate something, you should be able to create that curiosity amongst the listeners, else they would lose the interest. They would lose the interest. Right? Make sense? All right. Nice. Great. Now, as a public speaker, what more can we do? One was pause. Second one was story. Yeah. And third one is about what you eat. Yeah. Nobody talks about it, but this is for the professional speakers. If you really want to go for a presentation in your office, in your school, in your college, and you have to present in front of a lot of people, what you need to do is eat right. Yes, eat right. I mean, when I take sessions for hours and hours and hours, I ensure that I do not take a meal in the morning. I would be having, some kind of liquids just to keep me hydrated, which keeps me going. Else, I would not have anything heavy that makes my stomach bloat and I'm unable to deliver with that effectiveness. When you hear that, hey, there is a lot of energy in the way this guy speaks, where does this energy comes from? From the food habits, what you eat and when you eat. What you eat and when you eat. If you think that after having chole bhature or rajma chawal, you would go and give a great speech, think again. You might, but coupled with some burps. So don't give any burps out there and just focus on what you eat. Eating right is really important. So if you have a presentation coming up, if you have any meeting coming up, if you have any public speaking gig coming up, think what you eat the previous night and what you eat that morning. How many of you agree with this point? Say 100% agree. Tell me. Okay. All right. Because the audience would not be interested in your burr. Absolutely not. As a public speaker, it is not just about how you play with your voice, with your body language, with your words. It is so important to manage your thoughts. It often happens that we know the language. It often happens that we know how to use our body language, but when we are about to speak, our mind is not supporting us. We are losing our calm, we are losing our composure, and as a result, we just go random. We do not have a structure of our thoughts. We do not have a flow of thoughts. We don't. We don't have that flow of thoughts because very few of us do meditation. I'm sure you would have heard, oh, Devas, I know that I have to meditate. That is the irony. You and I, we know everything. We know it. Don't tell me, we know it. But how many of us actually do it? That's the point. Meditation is not for you to take some photographs or showcase to people that, hey, I'm meditating. Some people would have the statue of Lord Buddha or of a photo frame of Lord Buddha, and they would not do anything or would not follow or try to sit just down calm. I'm not asking you to buy a yoga mat for yourself or light up some scented candles or turn down or whatever, some music and all, not required. Just sit down, keep your phones aside in some other room with no vibrations, no sound, and just observe your breath. You have to just breathe and calm yourself. I would want you. Let's do it for just 5 seconds. You have to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Was it better? If you did it, you would feel the change. If you get some moments in the entire day, just take a pause. Take a pause. Remember the pause? Pause as in when you speak, and pause your thoughts for a while. It is rushing from left to right. You see this? Things are colliding from left to right, up and down, round and round. Your thoughts are colliding with each other. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just relax. Just relax. Try. At least given 15 minutes, not even half an hour. 15 minutes. Can we do it? Where we just isolate ourselves from everything. I'm not concerned whether the world would crash the next moment or would I exist in the next few minutes or not. I'm just here in this moment. That's it. That is what matters. You being alive right now is a reality. Yes. The next moment is still not a reality. It may be a reality. Just value this moment. Trust me, we live so much in the future tense that the cause of our worries, remember, what would people say if I goof up, if I forget, if, everything is future tense. How would I face myself if? It's all future. It's all future. What is in my control in the present moment? My breath, my thoughts, and the way I speak. That's it. That is in my control. Do that. Yes or no? Do you observe this? In my training sessions, I observe my participants. If I say yes, they'll say, I say yes, they'll say, that's a by default, I mean, if I say yes, and they're like, yes, alive. Else they're lost. They're lost in their own world. So everyone, are you with me? I cannot see you, but I can just feel that, yes, you would be doing something similar. Feel that, yes, you're very much there. Perfect. So we are done with the 4 do's, okay? The 4 do's, we are done with it, right? The 5th and the last do is to pep yourself up, folks. The energy is so important that if you come up on stage with that energy, if you speak or if you feel that energy in yourself, you can transfer that energy on the other side, like I did the last few seconds. And that energy can be felt. It can create that energy, it can create that vibrance in the environment that people feel, hey, let me listen to this guy, what he's saying. Because you feel the energy within yourself. And how do you create this energy? How do you create this energy? Well, I listen to good music. That's what peps me up. You may do some push-ups, do some bhangra, whatever works with you, do that. Not during the speech, but before the speech. Disclaimer. Just imagine people in middle of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a pause. And then they start. And you're like, what is wrong with you? Well, I'm just pepping myself up. That should not be the case, right? It's all about that you have to pep yourself up. Energy is important. Energy is important. I bet anyone would deny that. And that energy has to be genuine. There is a kind of false energy which people create, and that doesn't last for long. It should be there as a part of you. You can channelize the energy as you want. That's important. So 5 do's are done. Let's have a recap. So I would like to ask you guys, what was the number 1 do, which as a public speaker, which you should be doing? So number 1 do, everyone in the comment section, what should be the first do as a public speaker? Yes. Okay, yes. You need to take a pause. Take a pause. Do you see red, amber, green? Amber is a pause. Amber is a pause. All right. Point number 2. What do we do? Point number 2, what do we do? So first is taking a strategic pause, not rushing through the content, just going step by step and taking a pause when required. Second point, what should be focus? Stories. Yes, take yourself to your childhood and just experience all those things, and add a lot of spices, some masala and all, and make it more happening, folks. That's the point. Yes, stories. Have a story, Get in this habit as you talk to your spouse, talk to your kids, talk to your elders at home. Just try to compile the entire day's experience into a 5-minute story. That's it. You need not say, yes, mummy. Yeah, I got up at 8 a.m. Then I had a class at 9 a.m. Then 9 to 1, I had my class. 1 o'clock, I went for lunch. Then 2 o'clock, I again had class. Then 5 o'clock, I got free. Then I went to mess, had something. Then came back, watched something on laptop. And now I'm talking to you, mummy. Day was very good, mummy. Would you listen to this? I won't. Your mom would. Nobody else. The point is, folks, your story, whatever you do the entire day, it can be compiled into a story. You can always create few things the way you say it. Yes. So get the story right. Point number 3, what you should do as a public speaker. Let me know, folks. Point number 3, what we should do. What we should do. Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. You need to take care of the meal, what you eat. So no chole bhature, no rajma chawal, no samosas, nothing. Keep it light. Stay fit. There is no place for your burps. You cannot. Don't do that. Don't do that. Point number 4, what we should do as a public speaker. What we should do as a public speaker. Come on, point number 4, what we should do as a public speaker. Think. Everyone is going on the right track. Meditation. Oh yes, meditation. Calming down, relaxing yourself, and focusing on your thoughts, on your breath, on this moment. Neither future tense nor past tense, only present tense. I love present tense. Everyone say this. I love present tense. Yes, absolutely. Yes, stay calm, relax. Oh, yes. And point number 5. What is the point number 5? Which we all should do. Point number 5. What should we be doing? Point number 5. Oh, yes. Create energy. Yes, folks. Get the energy rolling. It can be brought in provided you feel energy. Just imagine, after having chole bhature, no matter how hard you try, folks, it will be so difficult for you. Your tummy would say, boss, I'm in no mood to bring that energy for you. Let me enjoy the bhaturas. Right? So get this energy rolling. So the 5 do's are clear to all of us. Now let's move on to the don'ts. The 5 don'ts of public speaking. The number one mistake, I'll kill you for this, okay, if you do this. Do not read when you present a slide. You get this? Do not read when you present a slide. People have this habit. As we see on point number 1 says this is the definition of success. Success comes to those who do not read the slides, who speak without reading the presentation slide. So I've done. Commendable. Huh? Do not read from the slide, folks. It's a request. This is a blunder. I see a lot of students doing it, even some professionals who are not prepared. That just shows how prepared you are. You haven't prepared. Your slide should not have more of text. It should just have an image, maybe a few words, big font, so that it grabs the attention and it does not make it boring. The listeners, they know how to read. They know how to read the letters and the words and the sentences. So you need not do that. That's a blunder, which you as a public speaker should never do it. Yes, I can see some people saying, hey, I was like that. So it's good that you realize that I should not be doing it, because when you do that, people are not looking at you. They are looking at the slide. And you lose all the points. You lose all the attraction. So you would never read from the slide. You have slides for reference. And just imagine, I would literally pray that there comes a day when you are on the stage, you are presenting, and the power goes off, or the laptop burns, or the projector stops functioning. I would pray for that moment for you, not for myself, but for you. So that when you are presenting and you are dependent completely on the slide and something happens, the laptop crashes. He is listening to me. And wait and watch. If you prepare like that, the karma is it. So never rely on the slides. Just keep it over here that, yes, this is what I have to say. Right now, as I'm talking to you, do I have a slide in front of me? Am I reading from somewhere? No, I'm not. Because I know what I have to say. That is preparation. That's point number 2. Point number 2. Don't just go on the stage. Don't just go on for president. Oh, I would do it. What's the big deal? I would show up. I would speak. And people will be like, wow, what a speech. It would not happen if you're not a professional speaker who has been in this habit of speaking. The point is, folks, that before any speech, any meeting, any presentation, it requires preparation. So don't just walk up on the stage. You need to analyze the audience. You need to understand the behavior. You need to understand the expectation. You need to understand the geography, the gender, the age bracket, the expectation that, okay, what are they expecting out of you? If you do not understand that, then I don't know, how would you prepare yourself? Preparation is the key. You pick up the great speakers from across the world. They have this one thing in common. They prepare. Any TED talk. When I gave one TED talk, I was like, oh my God, it requires a lot of rehearsals. And that's there. That is there, folks. So point number 1, you know it, right? You would not read from the slides. Point number 2, you would not take things for granted. You would prepare, understand the scenario, understand where you are standing, for whom are you speaking, to whom are you speaking, everything. You need to understand, then speak. It is not about that one fine day I was walking on the street. I saw someone in the room and I walked inside. But hello, folks, I'm here to speak to you. No. There should be a clear understanding of who the audience is and what your message is. It just requires, preparation from your side. Do not take things for granted, folks. It does take preparation time. When I do my sessions, even these live sessions, I had to talk about 5 do's and 5 don'ts. So I had the 5 points in my mind. Perhaps if I do the same session again, I may not write down the points, or even if I have to, it's there in my memory that, okay, these 5 do's, these 5 don'ts, rest I know what I have to say. That comes with practice. Initially, I was blank. I had to refer every word. I had to refer every slide. No, but with time, you practice, you learn, you are getting better, things work. So far clear? Point number 3. Do not run beyond the given time. We Indians love this. We are like, that is not for us. When in the invitation it says 8 p.m. is the wedding or the reception, we say, okay, we should go at 9:30. The food would be ready by 9:30. Yes, that is the IST. That is the IST. That is like VIP culture that we guys have, right? Proud of it. But when you speak in front of people, this would not work. If you have given the time, if your speech is of 10 minutes, then please finish it off in 10 minutes. Respect time, not yours, other people. They have given their 10 minutes to you. So don't go beyond that. Don't go beyond that. So you ought to ensure that your speech should be structured in a way, it is planned in a way that you know that in the next 10 minutes, I have to finish it off. Your intro, your body, and your conclusion should be planned in a way that you do not rush through it. Right. Point number 4. You don't have to catch any train or flight, nothing. Trust me. These days, we barely travel by air, by train. So think about that. You need not rush. Don't rush. Public speakers who are nervous, who are anxious, they have this habit of just finishing it off. Now, this might sound contradictory that previously I said you have to finish it off in time. And now I'm saying don't rush. Now, when I say don't rush, it clearly means that those 10 minutes, you have planned it in a way that you are neither rushing nor you are crossing the deadline. I hope this point is clear. This point is clear, right? You are neither like crossing the time limit of 10 minutes, nor you are rushing through it. You have planned your content, planned your messages in a way that it just sums up in the 10 minutes, maybe 2, 2, 4, maybe. Is it equal to 10? No, it is not. 2, 2, 4, 2. Just any kind of breakup, right? Or maybe like 3, 3, 4. That is better. I think like 3, 4, 3, for example, like intro, body, conclusion, maybe, or something better. 3, 3, 4, yeah, that is fine. Or 2, 6, 2. I'm just playing with numbers. I'm so bad at it. Yeah, it works. It works, right? So the point is that you don't rush through it. You have planned your speech in a way which does not cross the limits. Neither it makes the person feel that why is he rushing through through her points. And the last tip for this evening, this session, is do not, I repeat, do not doubt yourself. There are occasions when you go up on the stage or for any kind of speech, any interview, you have a lot of doubts in your head. What if I goof up? What if I'm rejected? Don't doubt yourself. Just be honest with your preparation, and the rest is sorted. Your preparation is in your hands. Your preparation is in your hands. Results are not. So kindly don't doubt yourself. Yes, there would be people who might speak better than you. That's okay. That's completely okay. Is it clear? But you should not feel bad or feel inferior as compared to others. If you feel that, yes, a lot needs to be worked upon, please work on your skill set. For that, I would never spare anyone. I'm talking about my students. You are free birds. You may or may not follow. But I would not spare my students if they're not honest with their work. So don't doubt yourself. Belief is really important. If you don't believe in yourself, then the world would not believe in you. Why should they believe in you? If you cannot believe in yourself, why should they believe in you? Make sense? Does it make sense, folks? So can I have the recap of the 5 don'ts? Quickly. Number 1 don't. What we should not be doing. Everyone, quick. Let me know what we should not do. What we should not do. Tell me what we should not do. Do not read from the slide while presenting. Oh, yes. Point number 2. Point number 2. Come on, everyone. Let's get going. Point number 2. What we should not be doing. What we should not be doing. Yes, be prepared. Do not take anything for granted. Do study the audience, the environment where you are speaking, and then go for a role. Yes, point number 2 is very important, folks. Point number 3. Next point. Next point. Yes, point number 2 is absolutely right. Do not take anything for granted. Point number 3. Yes, you need to respect time. Ensure that you finish things in time. You should not cross the limit. Right. Point number 4. Point number 4. Point number 4. Point number 4. Think. Point number 4. Yes, do not rush. Plan your speech in a way that you need not have to, don't have to rush. Sometimes the speaker has many thoughts that I should say this also, this also, this also, this also. No, not required, my dear friend. Just limit yourself to those points which are relevant to the discussion. And point number 5, the last point, that's really important. Really important. Yes, you need to believe in yourself. Do not doubt yourself. How many of you promise me that you would believe in yourself the next time you go and speak in front of people? Just type in I promise. The world was listening to you. Type in I promise if you would listen to yourself. If you would believe in yourself, type in I promise. Awesome. Keep that belief in yourself, folks, because if you don't believe in yourself, the world won't believe in you. Mind this. And as we end this session, I would want every one of you to share this video with your friends over WhatsApp, Facebook. Do tag me. I don't see people tagging me. That's unfair. Karma, remember, karma is a beep. So remember, karma would bite you. Karma would bite you, right? So do share this video, or maybe once this video is over, do drop in your comments around what did you learn in this video. Not now, but once this video is on the channel, then post your stuff that, okay, what you learned from this session, do let me know. Okay, so let's not take questions this evening. We have already crossed the time limits. And we would see you in the next session tomorrow at 9 p.m. Till then, you know what you have to do, right? Everyone, please tell me what we have to do. What we have to do until we meet again. What do we have to do before we meet again? Yes, yes, yes. You know it. You know it. Yes. We all have to stay awesome and stay productive. Absolutely, folks. Beautiful. Boom. All right, folks. I will see you tomorrow at 9 and would love to see your comments once this video is ended. Till then, have fun.